Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome back to the NOFO Live Show, where I, Sunitha, along with my co-host Tracy, we hop on every Friday and host a live podcast about the North Fork. The weather is beautiful. The sun seems to be partly out, so we are settling into a beautiful fall weather. I was invited to a Rosh Hashanah dinner this week. I'm lucky enough to have first of all, Happy New Year to all of those who celebrate. I'm lucky enough to have a few Jewish friends that live locally, and I'm so grateful that they include me in their celebrations. And I think what a wonderful time of the year it is. Obviously, we're born into the religion we're born into, but it's so nice to be exposed to others. And I, for one, personally feel really gravitating towards Yom Kippur and just taking some time out to reflect. Not to get too political or religious or whatever. I think it's wonderful, and Happy New Year to those who celebrate. So this week on the North Fork, let's see what's coming up. I know Tracy is going to, we had them on last week on the show. We had haven't had coffee yet this morning, ecstatic dance, and I believe they're allowed. Tracy's planning on attending tonight. So if you haven't gotten your tickets for that yet, or if that's calling your name, make sure to sign up. Good morning. How are you?
I got to tell you, I'm so confused by the weather. I got up and I put on a sweater and pants, and I was like, by the time I got ready, I'm like, nope, all this is coming off. I am so hot.
Me too. I looked at sweaters and then I was like, nope. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, Steve.
I'm cooking breakfast while I'm talking to you, so
just a little note to our viewers. Today's show is going to be actually live because our guest today is Stacey and Steve that own the Harvest Inn Bed and Breakfast, and this is breakfast time for Stacey. So she is actually cooking in the kitchen.
Actually,
so we're on set. We'll call it. We're on.
Well, it would be better
if you were on location. You could actually eat it.
Yeah. Oh, that would be even better, right?
Well, that's what we've been trying to do, since I think last year or whenever we started talking about this, but we had yet to go there and be served a delicious breakfast. But hop on, Stacey. Tell us, how did you get to the inn?
Well, it was one of those fated things, right? The universe speaks and you listen. So we were living in Manhattan, and Steve really wanted to get out of the city. It was COVID time. It was a lot of stuff going on. We lived on the Upper East Side, so like the morgue truck was downstairs, the triage tent was downstairs. It was a lot, and I didn't want to go back to the suburbs. 30 years ago, I used to say I wanted to open a bed and breakfast, and when we found this for sale, it happened to be just by chance. I had never been to the North Fork before, knew nothing about it, but my daughter had just been. And when she came home, I was looking at her beautiful pictures. I said, let me see what things cost there. And the first thing to come up was the Harvest Inn, which I couldn't get her into when she stayed. So we came, we looked. 6 months later, we were here.
Wow.
Talk about just making a change in your life, but you're not a stranger to making dramatic and drastic changes to your life, correct?
No, change is good.
Okay.
I can't even imagine not changing all the time.
So
that is a unique perspective on life, Stacey.
Maybe, but because you know what, I'm more afraid not to make the changes than I am to make the changes. Like just stagnating and being bored. I think you keep your health up by keeping busy, by doing things, keeps your mind busy, you're occupied.
Okay, so I just want to throw out a few things that you have done in your past life and just add on what I'm missing out, right? Because I feel like there's some journalism, but I've forgotten about that because that was way many years ago. So, so you are a chef. You are a lawyer because you can never stop being a lawyer because you went to law school, you have a law degree. You are an acupuncturist. You have a master's in Chinese medicine. I mean, I can't even correct me. What am I missing? And how have you managed to do so many amazing things that take so much time?
Well, I'm going to give Steve a plug right now because he is exceptionally supportive, and I was able to do whatever I wanted, basically. So I was a lawyer. That's how I met Steve. I was, because he still practices law. I don't anymore. But I was a lawyer. And then 9/11 happened and lots of circumstances there. And I didn't want to go back to being a lawyer for, a bunch of personal reasons. And I instead decided I wanted to go to cooking school, which perspective changes and you want to fulfill your dreams. So that was a bucket list thing for me. So I went to cooking school, learned how to cook, and then fell into cooking for people with various illnesses, diseases, things like that, because it works. Like I had gotten involved a little bit in alternative medicine based on my health issues that I had at the time, and I saw what difference food could make. So I started cooking for people with various illnesses and started doing catering that way, and we were having amazing results. And then I started seeing an acupuncturist who helped me with some of my other issues, and I became really interested in that. So I went back to school and got my master's in Chinese medicine, and now I put it all together. I do the food, I do the herbs, I do the Chinese medicine principles and apply it to the foods. And when we first came here, I thought, I'm going to serve everybody my healthy foods. That's what everybody's going to want. But nobody did because everybody's on vacation. So
wait, can you push that closer to the thing? What you're making, is that an avocado toast?
Avocado toast. I'm making avocado toast. I'll show you when it's done.
Okay, so go back to you thought nobody would want the healthy food.
But so what we do now is perfect. We serve great quality local organic foods whenever possible, and I intersperse my Chinese medicine things in it. I'll show you in a little while the health shots.
I know you have like different type of shots and stuff that people can have in the morning.
We do. I'll be serving some today in a couple of minutes probably, so I'll show you those. And we do those, and we do lots of things. I mean, and basically whatever anybody wants, we can do. We abide by all dietary restrictions here. And, it's interesting because some people come for that now, which makes me very happy.
Yeah.
People come for the luxury of the place, but now we're getting a certain clientele also who comes for the health aspect of it, which is nice.
Yeah. And also, given our area where there are more and more motels and hotels popping up and a lot of bed and breakfast, it makes the Harvest Inn stand out in a unique way.
Yeah, well, we hope it stands out. I mean, listen, I'm a chef and I love to cook, and breakfast is my favorite meal. So it stands out for the food, but it also stands out just because Steve and I have been married for 32 years, and once in our marriage, I brought him to a bed and breakfast. Once. And we're standing there, and he says to me, I don't understand this place. He said, you're bringing me to somebody else's house. You want me to sleep in somebody else's house where I may or may not have my own bathroom. There's no TV and I have to eat with people I don't know. I don't understand. So when we came here, we made it a place that Steve would want to stay in because, listen, admittedly, Steve and I are snobby travelers. So we wanted a place that was just nice. So this place, it's more like a boutique hotel than a bed and breakfast. It was beautiful when we moved here. It was very quaint and very cute and very beautiful. But the prior owners, who I happen to love, when we first moved here, I said, where's the cable hookup? They can't find it. And she told me, we didn't have cable. I go, well, what did you do? She said, well, I knew when we moved there that we just wanted to look at the stars. And I'm going, oh my God, I would love to be able to say that, but I can't. So the next day we ordered 9 TVs, so.
How many rooms does the Harvest Inn have, Stacey?
We have 5 rooms, each with their own bath. Each comes with a 3-course breakfast in the morning, and we have books everywhere. We have lots of different areas to sit outside. We serve breakfast inside and outside. This is today's breakfast. This is what we call fancy toast. It's avocado toast on one with eggs from down the street, and then we have ricotta cheese, prosciutto.
Good morning,
Steve.
Morning, Steve.
Wait, Steve, you forgot something.
Good morning.
Come back over here.
I wish I could take a screenshot, but I'm afraid if I click any buttons.
Sunita and Tracy are saying good morning to you. He says hi.
Well, I just want to give a shout out to Steve for a minute because we've talked about all your accomplishments.
She's giving a
but
shout
Steve,
out to you.
like you said, is a lawyer. But the shout out I also want to give him is he is a volunteer firefighter for the Southwell Fire Department, and we thank him for his service and his time there.
Yes. You know what? This place, this North Fork, this pocket of the world has really allowed us both to kind of realize our dreams, which is great. We live in a Hallmark movie. He's a firefighter. I get to cook breakfast for people. It's just an awesome place.
You know, it's funny, Stacey, because when you said he was a lawyer, I was like, he is? I thought he was a firefighter.
Well,
that's all I know.
as he says, when people see him here, they're happy to see him. When they see him in his law capacity, nobody's happy to see him. Right. So,
yes,
you know, and
yes, but we are happy to see him when we need him. So I'm grateful that he is part of the crew and the tribe that is there when you need it. I want to go back to the bed portion of the breakfast, bed and breakfast, because I know we're going to talk endlessly about the breakfast. So you have a beautiful living space that's common, right, where people can hang out. And you mentioned you have a lot of outdoor space. And you also have a beautiful dining area where people can sit and do, you know, as they linger. But talk to us a little bit more about the rooms, because I know that you have them decorated in a really clean and beautiful way. And I love how you have like a welcome tray on the bed. So talk to us a little bit of how you changed or what to expect when you walk in.
It's like I said, it's more like a boutique hotel. It's very much more modern than most other bed and breakfasts. So the beds that we have they're ridiculously comfortable. We found a mattress concierge when we moved here who supplies the Mandarin Oriental hotels. So we have those mattresses on the beds, which are modern, big. 3 of the rooms have king beds, 2 of the rooms have queen. And then we have smart TVs in every room, seating areas in most rooms. Everything is painted light. There's a lot of light in there because light is very important to me. Everyone has its own bathroom. We like the top of the line amenities. So we've taken everybody's comments to heart, and we've put in whatever anybody wants, you'll find there. The rooms in the front of the house look over. I'm sorry. I just have to talk to Steve for a second. What? Oh, okay.
I mean, she is
More
serving
eggs.
live guests. You
More
have guests in the hotel right now, correct? Is that who you're serving?
Yeah, we had 3 rooms last night. When I booked you guys, we didn't. So that's why I said to you, I hope it's okay if I'm moving around a little bit. But Steve is doing a good job, so I don't have to move around so much.
I love this. This is great. It's a new format for NOFO Live.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, we feel exceptionally lucky to have. We get great reviews on Google, and we get a lot of repeat guests.
Well, and you have some gorgeous robes as amenities to use in the room. You have some amazing sheets. I mean, every single thing when you walk into the room.
Yes, we have the frette sheets, which are unbelievable. We have the frette bathrobes, which are also unbelievable. The slippers. We want you to feel in the lap of luxury when you're here, even though you're in a bed and breakfast. So you're in the lap of luxury, and then you come down and you get a gourmet breakfast, but it still has all the personal touches. It's only 5 rooms. Steve and I are there all the time. So, you know, we are there basically to cater to people, and it's fun. It's fun, and everybody always wants to hear the nightmare story of the nightmare guests, and we have none. We really have none. Everybody is wonderful. You know, when we're here in the afternoons, if people are sitting out on the porch, we'll pour wine. It's like a family affair here. It's just really nice. And people come back, which makes us like so happy. So
tell us about your new endeavor of doing cooking classes with some of the guests.
We're actually doing one tomorrow.
What?
Oh, great. What are you doing?
Tracy and I didn't hear about this because Tracy and I were there the last one.
Because it's only for guests.
Oh.
This is only the second one we've ever done. You guys were at the first one on our test class. This is only the second one we've ever done. It's for guests. We're going to do the chicken Milanese that we did in the test class. We're going to do some juices. We're going to do some other salads. The kitchen renovation was great because the island now seats 10. Yeah. So people will be sitting. We're doing it from 4 to 5:30. So it'd be like you eat what you cook, but you can consider it your appetizers before you go out to dinner, because big appetizers, I guess. We'll be pouring wine. Steve has a tequila bar in here that I'm sure he will draft somebody into drinking with him. And it's just we're having, you know what? We're having a lot of fun with it. It's like people always say, "Oh my God, you work so hard. You're up so early, this and that." And as Steve said, and he's right, we've had really serious jobs in our lives, really like, life and death type jobs. What is the worst that's going to happen here? Someone's not going to like their eggs. It's just, there's no reason to be stressed. There's no reason not to be happy about it. It's just, you're living in paradise doing great things and people are happy. What's not to like?
Well, but that's also a testament to.
I'm sorry. Hang on one second. It's one avocado per every 2 people. Steve, this is funny. Steve's cutting the avocados for me now because I'm not doing it because I'm talking to you.
I mean, you can't get any better than a lawyer to be a sous chef. So
the first time I said, "Can you cut those avocados?" He said yes, and then he was so proud. He came to me. He had cut through the pits.
Oh.
I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
You were supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was saying, Stacey, that I think it's a testament to your and Steve's personalities because there are types of people who can get stressed out about those kinds of things. And
100%.
you've really embraced, the slow way of life and just enjoying what you're doing right now.
Yes. And everything is relative, right? When you look at what else is going on out there, this should not be that way.
Speaking of slow way, not to put you on the spot, but Marissa, who owns Main Road Biscuit Company, is paying you a compliment and asking if you can host the Slow Food East End holiday party for the board. It's a closed party, so don't get excited, people, for the board of Slow Food East End.
Tell
but
Marissa
also,
we'll
I wanted
talk.
to go back to your kitchen because what I wanted to point out is for bed and breakfast, typically the hosts live in the same property, right? So your 5 rooms are towards the front of your property and then your own residence is towards the back of it. And Eric from North Fork Flights, Sites and Bites commented about your brand new kitchen. So you've been making changes to the inn, but you've just made a huge change to your own living space and this kitchen you're working in.
Yeah, it's great. It's my dream kitchen.
Oh, we get a view of it. Ooh, oh my God, those doors.
Yeah. I was just going to say, and I don't think we got to peek in the pantry when we were there.
Oh, the pantry. Look at those open shelves.
Yeah. So it's set up to be a chef's kitchen, but it's set up to be friendly. So in the morning, guests will come in here, they'll sit, they'll have coffee, they'll, whatever. And then when it's just Steve and I time, when, it's later in the afternoon or the evening, it's all closed up and then we have our space. So it's really a great thing. And
so I have a question about that because I have another friend of mine who owns a bed and breakfast, not here, but in Belize, right? And not having done that myself, I wonder what is it like to have people living or visiting in your personal space? Like, how was that transition for you? Because, obviously you were used to your own privacy and now you have, I guess you have your privacy, but you also have people. So how do you do that?
Yeah, it works. It just works. We've never had people try and get in our space, everybody is very respectful and we have doors, and we keep them open a lot, but sometimes they're closed.
Okay. But you have so many beautiful places where people can linger, right? Because you have the pond outside and you have Adirondack chairs outside. There's a lot of spaces.
Do you need 2 more croissants yet? Okay. Sorry.
Well, also, I think it takes a certain type of personality who is okay with engaging every morning with people that aren't necessarily.
Yeah. You know what? I'm a morning person, so this schedule works out perfectly for me. I'm up regardless. So if I have to work from 6 to noon, let's say, then my time is my own. I do other things, obviously, for the inn, but it's on my schedule. So for me, it's the perfect schedule because if I could be in my pajamas by 9 o'clock at night, I'm really happy. So this works for that. It's good. And
which I can vouch for because we are friends in real life.
Yeah.
And if we ever go out or invited to anything out, you typically on weekends especially have to leave early because you have to be up early prepping the breakfast. Yeah. I know you're serving it now, but you're up early prepping it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get up early and I prep. I bake muffins, I do that kind of thing. I do all the bed and breakfasty type of things that you would want, But then in the afternoon, we're free to go on nice, beautiful walks. We're free to go to the beach. We're free to do whatever. So it is just perfect.
So tell us some typical items that we would find on a breakfast. And I know you eat every day.
We serve 3 courses every single day. The first course is always some kind of a baked good. So a chocolate croissant, which these are amazing. A chocolate croissant.
Made those?
No, they're the only things I do not make myself here are the croissants. I tried, I can't do it. I can't make them as good as I can buy them. I make the muffins though. So it's either a croissant or a muffin as a baked good. And then the second course is something lighter. It's either a bowl of fresh fruit, which I happen to have today. I don't know if I can get this up to the camera, but it has, when we can, we do local fruit. And we put a bunch in there. And then we put the lavender honey in there, the herbs from my garden. I grow medicinal flowers in the backyard, so we throw those in there. So it's like a bowl of fruit and flowers. Either that or we'll do some kind of a yogurt parfait with fruit, with nuts, that kind of thing. And then the third course is the main hot course. So today you saw it was the toast. Sometimes we'll do a stuffed croissant French toast. My new favorite is this really thick piece of challah French toast stuffed with lemon ricotta. That's pretty good. Mounds of berries on top. That's good. And then we recently started doing a breakfast bowl, which is this giant bowl with tons and tons of things in it. There's eggs, there's vegetables, there's sourdough toast. But that one is particularly good when everybody has a different dietary restrictions. I'm gluten-free, I'm dairy-free, I'm this, I'm that, because that's easily customizable. So we started doing that. And in the winter is when we recipe test, because we always try and come up with new things. So once Halloween passes and it gets a lot quieter here, then we recipe test and we invite people from the community to come in. And the only stipulation is that you need to be honest. You need to give honest feedback for the breakfast. So
Tracy can definitely do that.
So then you will be invited to tastings.
I'm gonna have to follow up with you to ask you why you just said that.
But right, well, no, and Sunita says that as if she doesn't have a mouth.
Well, the reason I said Tracy is because she can eat a lot of the things because I now have dietary restrictions. I can't eat so many. And the reason I said that Tracy can do that is because I think you're very honest about what you like or don't like. If you have preferences, and that's the clientele that will be coming. So you will be upfront and can't really do this.
Yeah, we invite some of the firefighters here in the winter, and they sit and they eat breakfast and they love it, and they had to get used to speaking up because they were just so happy to be being fed and whatever. But no, I said no, and I started asking pointed questions. Well, should it be berries? Should it be chocolate? Should it be this? Should it be? And now they're comfortable enough where they go, nah, this one's not working.
See, now you know, Tracy, why I said you could do it. Yes, you would be perfect for this job.
I would. Yes. I would.
It pays in food. And I'm sure many of the listeners now.
Food and coffee.
I love it. I love it. So Marissa asks, are you open year round? It sounds like you are.
We are open year round, but January, February, and March, we're much slower than the rest of the year. It's one of the reasons we just redid the kitchen. We're going to try and do events here that will bring people out here when they maybe normally wouldn't come. Like the vineyards around us, they all want to do something and they're all open. The restaurants, they all want to get people there. So we're going to try and package up some weekends for people. You come here, you stay here, you get the cooking classes for free. You go to this restaurant, you go to this vineyard, we'll do a tasting here, and we'll plan your full weekend so you don't have to worry about it, because I don't think a lot of people realize how many things are open here in the winter. You know, I mean, in December, yes, because Santa's Christmas land is right down the street, so there's all that stuff. But once Christmas is over, everybody's still open, and people don't think about coming here, and it's really beautiful out here in the winter.
Well, one of the things that surprised me, and I guess not surprised me, but like I said, because we have friends in real life and I'm there often sitting on your porch playing mahjong, a lot of people do staycations by you. And will come that are local that will stay there to experience.
Staycation now,
Yeah. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I might have to do that one day, especially I think that's the only way, Tracy, you and I might get the breakfast, because you can't serve breakfast you don't serve breakfast to non-guests, right? You have to be staying there to get the breakfast.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. So we're going to find a way to do staycation.
Yes, I'm in. I just need a babysitter.
You know, we get a lot of women's trips here.
Okay.
And mother-daughter things.
And people take the whole place, all 5 rooms, right? You do get times where.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, fun.
I love that. Oh, that's a great idea.
It's always fun.
Because then they can hang out in the living room, you know. And one of the cute features of the living room that I love is Stacey has these board games, right? And most bed and breakfast has them, but yours are so gorgeous that they're actually hanging up on the walls as art. So you literally have to take the boards off the wall.
2 birds, 1 stone. I didn't have to put art on that one. You just pick them up, pull them off, and all the pieces and instructions for everything are sitting there. We have games all over the place. We have books everywhere. It's, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
Because games and wine, what more do you need?
Yeah. So you obviously, if you're packaging stuff and you're recommending restaurants and stuff, you're going out and you're experiencing a lot of the North Fork as work, which is lovely. So tell us, if you were going to take Sunita and I out to lunch or dinner, Stacey, where would you take us?
Oh, see now.
Did you say anything else then?
No, you know what? Because we have so many favorites, and we work closely. We have good relationships with so many restaurants. I don't know that I could pick a favorite. I will say that Maroni is close to our heart in Southold. We love the people there. We love the food. That is one of our favorite places. If I was taking Sunita out to lunch, I would take her to somewhere where they have vegan things and non-dairy things. And there are more places here than you would think that do that, which is great. I mean, I was at Barrow House the other day with somebody who's vegan, and while that's probably close to a 15-minute drive from here, I always forget about it, and it's so good. I mean, we love walking to the brewery down the street and getting lunch. They have delicious food, and it's a brewery.
Greenport Brewery, right?
Yeah. There's tacos, unbelievable.
You, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't not give a shout out to Lovely in Kitchen, where I see you post a lot of times.
Yes, but I don't like to publicize that because that's my place. Whenever I take myself out to breakfast, which is fairly often, I go and I sit at a table in Lovely in Kitchen. But then you have Main Road Biscuit Company, which is also a little bit farther from us.
I'm going to go to every restaurant.
Yeah, I know. There's just too many. There's just too many.
Okay, sunrise or sunset?
Well, I'm a sunrise person because I see it. He just said one of us has to work.
Yes.
I mean, someone's got to do it.
Yeah. I like sunrise because I can see it from my bed every morning. So I like that. I like sunset at Sunita's house because it's beautiful. But
there is a gorgeous sunset across. There's a gorgeous sunset across from you, across over Pindar Vineyards.
Yes, you can see it from the end of our driveway. You can see it from our porch once the leaves are off the trees, and it is stunning. So that's it's how do you pick that?
Well, I mean, that is one of the advantages of living on the North Fork is from so many locations. And I love my view, and it's gorgeous because it sets over the water. But I also love your view because it sets over a vineyard.
It's over a vineyard.
So it's totally different.
It's unbelievable. Sunset over a vineyard. It really is a Hallmark movie, right? I mean,
it is. It is.
Okay. Well, we have to give a shout out to Steve for his tequilas because he is a tequila aficionado.
Yes, but we don't. Just so you know, we don't sell them here. We're not allowed to sell any alcohol here.
I'm talking for himself.
For himself, yes. He has a tequila bar, which is unbelievable. And if we do have a tequila fan here, he'll pour it for somebody.
But so what's your favorite? Brewery, mocktail, cocktail?
Dirty martini.
Ooh.
Dirty martini. That's my favorite.
Oh,
and there are,
I have to say this because Tracy, you like this. Stacey introduced me to this concept of when she's done with one martini and he's either spacing, she will take the martini glass and make a dirty water, which I'm calling.
We talked about it. We talked about it at Vino's birthday party. I do it with seltzer, and whenever I go to like a steak restaurant or something where you're like, that's where you would expect to have like a lovely dirty martini. I'll ask for seltzer extra dirty, and the waiters go, what?
Yes, I know. And I ask for just water in a martini glass because I like to hold the martini glass with olives in it, and they're like, wow. Yeah. And that's what I like.
But actually, it tastes really delicious, and a lot of people will say the olives are the best part of the martini. So I'm like, I'll just skip to that and do the olives.
There you go.
And I find that I really like the brine.
Yeah, because we're all party animals here.
Well, thank you. I just want to comment on Kelly. Thank you, Kelly, for a shout out again for my view. You're welcome anytime. We do miss you on the show.
Next
I know you're co-hosting
soon. Tell me so I can come too, and we can hang out. I haven't seen Kelly in a while.
For the people who know where my door is, it's always open.
Right.
Yes. That's true. So, Stacey, you mentioned that you try to use as much local produce as possible. Where are you generally getting stuff from?
I like Wickham's down the street from us. I like 𝗧𝗵𝗲, who is also our neighbor. I love 𝗧𝗵𝗲 because they're all organic. Honestly, when I'm heading towards Costco once a month, the big farms over there, I love also Sound Shore, Bayview. There's not a bad one in a bunch.
Not talk about your duck eggs.
You know what? You were right, because I put them out. I put them out here so I could remember. 8 Hands Farm is my favorite farm. We buy duck eggs from them and we sell them for breakfast. I don't have a regular one here to compare it to.
It's very long, it looks like.
They're gigantic. It makes you feel really bad for the ducks. But I reserve a dozen duck eggs, a dozen or 2 duck eggs there every week. And Carol, who was one of the owners, she saves them for me, and we make them on top of these toasts. I only have 2 duck eggs right now because the ducks are having a problem laying this year, so they're hard to get. It's very interesting. First, at the beginning of the season, they were laying them. They couldn't find them. They couldn't figure out where the eggs were. They found them. The ducks had decided to lay in the tall grass. So it took them forever to find the eggs. So that we had going, they figured it out. And now they don't feel like laying. She's like, I don't know what's going on. They just don't feel like it. So I'm beating down her door every weekend. I'm going,
I have an idea of why they might not be like, but I'm not going to go there right now.
Okay.
Well, Stacey, your city lawyer friends could now hear you talking about duck eggs.
I know.
And laying.
And
I mean, your life
I even talked to them about getting ducks. Maybe I should get ducks. And they said, no, you should not get ducks. Ducks are disgusting. They said that whereas they're so dirty. I said, oh, like pigs? They said, no, they're so much worse than pigs. They said they crap where they eat and where they sleep. And it's just a huge mess. Nobody should have ducks unless you have a huge farm.
I'm gonna counter that. I had baby ducklings growing up, and
really,
yep. We raised them as little ducklings in my room, and then we had a big pen in the backyard, and we raised them, and they were
wow.
We loved them. They were great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you should do it again, and I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Maybe you can have ducks in your backyard.
Well, you can come to my dad's house. He's got pheasants, pigeons, ducks. He's got all sorts of stuff. So you can come over.
We should have Poppy on the show because he does so much. I don't think I could do that.
You and Kelly would have to host that one.
I'm putting it out there.
Oh, well, Stacey, it's been so great to have you on the show.
I'm so glad. Next time you need to come here and eat.
We love having you a part of the North Fork community, but tell us why you love being a part of it.
This is small town living at its best, right? In a beautiful location. There are several towns out here. They're all small, but they all work together as a community. So it is just the nicest, most helpful community in a beautiful setting. I mean, it really is. I mean, I keep joking that it's a Hallmark movie, but it really is. There is nothing bad to say about it, and just so many good things.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we are friends in real life, and I know how much you personally just love. And you said Hallmark movie, and you say that often. You say it in winter. You say it in summer.
Because I can't believe it. It's just ridiculous.
You're loving this North Fork life, and I'm so glad that we get to live it together. So,
so
thank you for being on, and thank you to Steve for helping you so you could chat with us.
Just saying goodbye, and thank you.
Have a good weekend. We'll see you next Friday.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.